Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Weekly Collective. Happy February. Can you believe we're already? Well, I can. this this year, this month has felt like a year already. But anyway, welcome to all of you. It's good to see you. And as I was shuffling the cards, they kind of exploded 2 minutes before, or 2 seconds before I went live. So I can already feel there's a lot to talk about today. And we have a full moon too, so I'll do a special reading on that later. But for now, let's talk about the Weekly Collective. So basically, everybody's welcome here. We're going to be taking a look at some channeled messages for the collective, for everybody. We'll look at a 7-day forecast to help us navigate the week ahead, check in on all of the elements, and then the special topic that everybody selected today was titled End Scene, Stop Cycles That No Longer Serve You. Excellent choice on that one. I set a goal, so if we reach that, I can also either look at the lowest voted one, because I see complaints all the time like, he never chooses what I want. I'm like, guys, you choose it, but I'm trying to set up ways that we can look at other things. So today we could let the minority vote win. I think that might be good. Or I could do the runner-up or look at something else. But we'll cross that off when we get to it. For now, let's get into channeled messages. And again, this is for everybody that's present. Good to see you, by the way. All right. So as I was tuning into your sign this morning, tuning into everybody this morning, what I was picking up on was two different images in my mind's eye. The first was a bow and arrow, an archer. And I think it's really important to get clear on what it is that we're supposed to be doing right here, right now. There's so much going on, so many distractions, so many different ways to take your energy. The second thing that kind of files in with this was a splinter. So what we want to avoid is the splintering of energy, and we really want to allow our intensity, our power, our manifestation ability to go where it matters most. And I think you chose well with the special topic there. Things that don't serve you can distract you or deplete energy. So that is in and of itself going to help us avoid it. And then I'll lean into the opportunities that are coming through when we look at like the right-hand side of the Celtic cross. So it all kind of nicely files in. I might be doing something special in the next week or so, like how to deal. It didn't win, the Gaia option, but I think it's important to figure out how to regulate our energy, like stress, anger, and all of that. We did a little of it last weekend, but I might do a meditation. I may do a special reading on that because, like I said, there's a lot going on, particularly for those of you that it really doesn't matter. It touches everyone. There's so much unrest in the world right now, but a lot of it's going on in the country that I'm living in, and I want to try to help all of us that are dealing with it because it distracts you from taking care of your family, from going to work, from taking care of your health. This is also true in other parts of the world. There are so many different conflicts, so many different things going on at present. We kind of owe it to ourselves to stay strong and stay healthy. So one thing that I'm trying to do, irrespective of where you sit, is to try to kind of like help you be your strongest, clearest, and brightest. So I'll continue to focus in on that, even if it's not selected. Like that's something that I'm called to do. So I'll figure out how and when to do a video on grounding. I feel like that's necessary too. But that's part of this. So I'll help you out even if it isn't covered today. Let's put it that way. Okay? Why don't we go ahead and navigate into a 7-day forecast now? So this is going to help us get through, just like it sounds, the week ahead. And welcome everybody. By the way, if you like this video, before we get into the forecast, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. It's 100% free. It helps the channel grow. It helps other people find it. If you ever wonder why the creators say that, it's algorithmic. So when you subscribe and when you like, and then later when you comment, those levels of interaction basically level up the video. There's a feature called hype too. Feel free to hype the video if you want to. I think that's free as well. Okay, let's get into the 7-day forecast. I just like to describe things sometimes because people are like, why do I need to like it? Why do I need to? It's just a way to say thanks that doesn't involve any monetary exchange. 1 second here. I have to set one other thing up. And by the way, I hope everybody's doing well today. It's good to see you. Always a pleasure to make some time for all of you. So thank you. Give me 1 second. I realized I didn't do something here when I set this up. I might have to just, there we go. Okay, now we can get started. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first card that's coming through for today. This is for the energy of Sunday. And we have Three of Cups energy, reminding you to have some fun, to take some time for yourself. And interestingly enough, not to sacrifice too much time and energy in these sort of engagements. So what I like about this is the balancing act that she's playing. Sometimes we say yes to everything and everyone, and there's a time and a place. So if you're going to like watch a movie, get all your work done first. If you're going to, stay out late, take a nap. It's basically saying do something to help regulate your body, your energy, and know that there's like a certain amount of give and take that you can do. The Three of Cups is also connected to love, romance, partnership, new friendships. This is a great day to get out there and interact with others. It reminds us also to celebrate every day's little, what's the best word? Advancements on our goals. So progress. Celebrate the little stuff. Don't just wait for the big things. But definitely today the energy is around joy, rewards, and pleasure. And intermingle that with whatever goals, work, and sort of like other mundane things that you have. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. It's like that. So make some room for some sugar in your life, whatever that might be, figuratively speaking. And again, everything in moderation. And that's what she's doing, a little bit of a balancing act. Some of us work too hard and don't have enough fun. Some of us work not enough and have too much fun. Wherever your balancing act is, just make sure that it comes into equilibrium. The only thing to maybe avoid today is completely going into the energy of like self-medication. So drinking too much, playing too much. Again, the extreme of this is something to avoid, but I think for most of us, we're not having enough fun. So please make some room for fun today, okay? If you need to talk to someone, that usually is a good card connected to that, because as long as you approach it with a sort of fun and engaging energy first, don't immediately dive into work, okay? Looking at the beginning of the work week, on Monday we have Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. Karmically speaking, taking it out of business, work, everything, this is about a sort of soul lesson, and we're kicking off this month. This is the second day of the month here on Monday. There's something that it feels like you've learned, but there's a part of you that is kind of like second guessing the lesson. Trust in your instincts, trust in your knowledge. This is a very learned card. This is a beautiful illustration, but it does diddly squat in telling what the card is about. So I'm going to pick the traditional one because it's one of the reasons I don't use this deck all the time. I like the illustrations, but they don't always lean into the actual story of it. So while I'm finding it, Three of Pentacles, great day on Monday for partnership. It's a great day to lean on the expertise of others. Teamwork makes the dream work. This is also recognition, and it's learning. And this card does a better job of showing all of that. So we see the partnership, we see the recognition, we see the completion of something beautiful. If you're going to do it right, really do it right on Monday. This person is chiseling in those final details. And if you are wondering, am I done? Pretty much. When the card is reversed on Monday, it's saying don't overdo it. So for those of you that are painters or writers or musicians, you know there comes a point of revision and perfectionism that actually removes the initial special something regarding art. But it's true of everything. There comes a point where you've got to stop editing. So put the finishing touches on, hand it off to someone else, see what their insights are, make time for learning, work with others. And if you're not receiving your flowers, if you're not getting the sort of like validation that you were seeking, the Three of Pentacles is saying that if you do the right thing in given time, even if it doesn't happen on Monday, that recognition will come through, okay? So sometimes a little frustrating because we want to know, am I doing all right? Is everything okay? And that card is reminding you everything in its time. Apollo joined us. Let's give him a little pat on the head and then we'll get to Tuesday. Hey, buddy. That's a good boy. Yes. Thank you. All right. Back to the reading. We were looking at the energy here of Tuesday. So moving on to Tuesday, we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. So this is also a little bit of overdoing it. And I actually love this illustration because we can see that the angel in this card is burdened. Ten of Wands is good because it shows you are nearly complete on a task, on a goal. I kind of felt that it was already done on Monday. Some of you may be pulling in. I feel like it just could be this internal thought that if I don't do it, it won't be done right. Maybe, but maybe that's exactly what needs to happen. Case in point or an example is, let's say you are overworked and there maybe is budget. This isn't true of every place, but if there is a budget to hire more people, but they see that you're going to do it all, they're going to let you do it all. In your own relationships, to kind of break it into another section of life, if you're constantly doing all of this stuff, and the other party thinks maybe you want to do it and they don't want to infringe, but meanwhile, you're feeling this sense of resentment. Just let it go. Just say, I'm sorry, I can't do this today. Maybe someone will offer. And if they don't, it doesn't get done. Sometimes you have to let things go. And so when this card is reversed, the load is too heavy and something needs to be released. And it could just be that it's, again, if you're working on something, it's actually finally done. This is also encouragement not to give up, maybe just to take a rest, take a break, delegate, as we talked about, because you are so far along that it's easier just to finish. So finish what you've started. Don't feel like you have to shoulder the burden. Don't give in to other people's pushiness, because in the reverse position, Ten of Wands is pushy. And also yourself, don't be pushy. There's a difference between stern or what's the other word here that I want to say? Basically just having the sense of confidence and then being too pushy or being pushed. And we just want to make sure that you're not doing something because of that, because that's not the right reason. You can push right back and say, why don't we talk when things are less heated, or I really don't want to do it. No means no, okay? And that's pretty much everything there. If you're traveling, make sure that you're not packing too much or too little. When I'm looking at how heavy the load is, and this card is connected with travel, you want to make sure that the luggage fits the sort of guidelines of the airline that you're traveling. You want to make sure maybe that you have an air tag in case it gets lost. Don't pack too much, don't pack too little. Maybe split some things up. That's what I'm getting there, is that there's just too much baggage, literal and metaphorical, okay? And if you are traveling, I'm looking at the labyrinth behind her, make sure that you have a guide, that you have a clear idea of where it is that you're going, because that seemed a little nebulous, okay? Generally speaking, these are great cards, by the way. Three of Pentacles and Ten of Wands. Recognition and completion. You're there, but there's some small details that we don't want you to sweat out, okay? Now, this is the first tricky card of the week. As we look at Wednesday, we have Seven of Swords. The card is upright. The character is looking at you head on. So, if you think you can get away with something, you can't and you won't. If you feel like someone's intentions aren't completely honest, trust that. Do a little research, ask for some time, or just say no. And this is also just a reality check from the universe to be honest with yourself. So sometimes we get ourselves into trouble because we will say yes when we know we can't do it. So overextension of time, energy, and resources is a great example. It's not like a harmful or premeditated Seven of Swords, but it can even be like, oh yeah, we should totally meet up, or yeah, send me the information. And in your head, you're like, I am not going to that event. I am not going to that party. You could just say instead, you know what, I'm really busy tonight. Why don't you text me next week and we'll find something on the calendar? But only say it if you mean it. And that's really what this card is saying. Only say yes if you mean it. And if you don't want to do something, just say no. No is a freeing word. It frees you and it frees someone else to find the right connection. Okay? If there are any sort of contracts or things of that nature, make sure that you dig into the details and get a learned eye on that. Get a lawyer, get someone that understands like legalese to make sure that you're getting into the right thing. Okay? Looking much better as we go to Thursday. We have Four of Wands energy, setting the stage, but nobody's there. The Four of Wands is in the reverse position. There's a lot of, okay, I'll say what came into my mind. It's expectations and maybe a feeling of being entitled to have something happen now. Entitlement was the word that came through. I don't know why, but I'll say it. So if you're feeling like, I deserve this, or why isn't it happening to me? It can also be like that. Entitlement and resentment came through in this reading for some reason. They're not very helpful. They actually, so if we think of the law of attraction, they push it off. If it's like, well, I deserve it and I want it now, then the universe is looking and saying, you want it too much, or you're not really ready, or there's some work to be done. So it's better to release it a little bit and say, I'm going to set up all of the parameters. I'm going to set the stage for this firm foundation, relationship, partnership, opportunity to come through. And I know I'm ready, and I'm not going to rush it. And I feel good about that. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That's a better way to attract it. I'm ready now, but I'm not like needing it right here, right now. And then the universe will start to send it in. But if it's too much, or if there's a feeling of anger, resentment, or you can feel the heat in your body kind of rising, really focus on grounding and releasing and putting the energy into another part of your life, transmuting it. Four of Wands in reverse. There might be someone who needs a little bit more from you. A friend, a family member. But I don't think they're good at asking. They're not in the picture. But this is a card of support. Check in on someone that you love. Could be your parent. Could be a friend. It could be someone you haven't talked to in a very long time. But if you feel the inclination, wow, I should really get together with that person, reach out. Because someone might be thinking of you, but they're also thinking there's been a lot of time and distance. And it's a great day for reparation and relationships. But I was talking to a neighbor last night because we sat down for like an hour and hung out, which was nice. But one of the things that we talked about, she's creating some space in her life for more people, more relationships, stuff like that. But it was cool. She was doing some home improvements and, like just getting healthy, getting set up. And I'm like, that's exactly what you should be doing, because then you're being the partner that you know that your partner wants to meet. I think it's a very selfless way and a very cool way. You're becoming the person so that you kind of like, you're reflecting the qualities that you want to see in them too. So that's one thing that you can do, is just create the aspects of the partner or the friend that you're looking for in your own life. Wellness, healthy environment, great activities, mental health, physical health, those sorts of things. So the introspective work is really what you want to focus on. And then that is like a magnet that pulls in what you're looking for. Okay. All right. As we go to Friday, it's a little bit of stress management. So before you get in and add one more thing into your plate, I really feel like this is a day where you want to put the emphasis on meditation, getting ample sleep, talking to a therapist or a friend if you need to, and facing the fears. One thing that I'll say about the Nine of Swords is it's never as bad as it looks or appears on the card, but we make it more intense. It's the personification in tarot of like spiraling in your head and going to all the worst case scenarios, even when they probably won't or couldn't even happen. It's good to plan for contingencies. Think, well, if this happens, I'll do that. And I feel a little uncertain about this, so I'll do some research. Maybe I'll ask someone else what they think. Those are natural, normal ways to plan. It's critical thinking. It's constructive. But if you just think, oh my God, I'm going to mess up. They're going to hate me. It's going to go terribly. And it just keeps adding up. And it's eventually the Nine Swords. Then it's too much. Breathe, sleep, and just get up the next morning and put one foot in front of the other. It's all you can do is continue to go. When I look at the most challenging moments of my life, whether it was, well, definitely like losing both parents, both times was specifically with my mom. That's what you do when you're grieving. You just keep getting up. You keep living your life. You start working through the grief. You put one foot in front of the other, and eventually you find your pace again. and eventually you are moving forward. Sometimes it feels like you're on the hamster wheel, but you will eventually get through that. And we're going to be looking at today how to stop the cycle. So if you're feeling like you're cycling, and it could be anything, addiction, grief, any sort of addictive tendency, then we're going to look at some of that today. But you can't solve it in a day. And Friday, it feels like you're trying to solve it in a day. Pick one thing that you can control, one thing that you can affect, and also celebrate one aspect of your life. The fact that you're still present and able to think about all of this stuff, that's something. I'm still standing, like the Elton John song. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. I may not have all the answers today, but I'm going to figure some things out. That's something to celebrate. It's little feats of strength. And then eventually people will look at you and think you're really strong. And you're like, no, I just keep going. I just keep going because eventually I know the odds are in your favor. Something good will happen. It's just the odds. So that's one thing that you can look at if you're really feeling like down on yourself. Who knows? I could meet someone today that could make me smile. I could get something in the mail that could cheer me up. You never know when the good is going to happen too. So you take the good, you take the bad. Don't focus so much on the bad and start to open yourself up to receive the good. That's the way that you can get through the Nine of Swords. Okay? Let's take a look at the energy here of Saturday. Okay, so we have Eight of Pentacles. This is a decent interpretation of that. It's about, yes, it's another learning card, but it's also a production, a working, a sort of reciprocity card. And for many of you, it feels like you're kind of so in the weeds of doing something that you may not be able to see the forest for the trees, meaning that you need to take a step back and really look at how much progress you've made, and also get back into understanding, like, why am I doing this again? So for those of you that have gone to school, like a college or university degree, you know what I'm saying. By the time you get into your second or third year, you're thinking, is it worth it? What am I doing? Why am I here? And it's probably because you've been chipping away and working so hard. Here's your traditional card. So when you're just toiling, when you're just working, sometimes it just feels like I'm exhausted, I'm tired. But look at how great things look. Look at how much you've done. Amazing. The other thing here is theory only takes you so far when it comes to like knowledge and experience and things of that nature. But when you actually, the experience piece is more important. So one thing that I quickly learned, like when I left grad school and got into the real world, is it prepared me for like the skills, but not the politics, not the emotional challenges, not the financial challenges of the real world. That's when practical skills come into mind. So you might be overthinking it a little bit. Lean into both your knowledge and other people's knowledge of, like, the School of Hard Knocks. How did you get through this? What did you do? What would you practically do here? Practicality is going to help. And don't focus so much on what the book says or what people expect. I just kind of am getting that energy of life's lessons are going to come into play on Saturday more than anything else. For those of you that are writers or authors, both Monday and Saturday are very good days to put things to paper. And it could be any sort of written thing, whether it's contract work, scientific or mathematical. I'm just seeing people writing. So if there's something that you need to get in sort of like some sort of understandable form, this is a great day to do that. And you can make a lot of progress. So even though it's a weekend day, I know that I work on the weekends mostly, especially Sundays, it's just a day. So if we take that feeling out, like, well, I'm supposed to rest today, or you could get a lot done. So I feel like make some room for some work in the morning, and then you can relax in the afternoon. Okay. Now let's take a look at a week from today. Mostly good, a little bit of a challenge. So ideas are coming through, but follow through might be lacking. So this is a light bulb that's kind of like flickering. We need to screw it in a little bit more, or we need to turn it fully on. We see that it's kind of ready, but it's not fully illuminated. Vitality or energy or motivation seems to not be fully present. So as we take a look at the special topic today, I feel like that's going to be solved. So there's something that is energetically tapping you out. It could be a person in your life. People can be exhausting, right? It's not just jobs. Sometimes it's people. It could be the world. We've been talking about that for the past couple weeks. There could just be too much to think about. This light bulb here in your head, it needs to be clear and clean and focus on what matters most. So take one thing and make that your central focus on Sunday. Tune out the other stuff. Don't get pulled into drama unnecessarily. All right, so let's look at highlights and challenges for this week. So I think today's a highlight. Have some fun, if you will. Monday and Tuesday looking amazing. So the next 3 days, chef's kiss. I think the biggest challenges this week are Wednesday and Friday. The rest of the week is manageable. Good cards reversed, but overall, pretty good energy. We do have a decent amount of reversals in this spread. The fact that we have a full moon today could be part of that. Emotions are running high, but I look at the potential of each card, and when we have good cards that are upside down, it's just inviting you to look at it from a different angle and not to get in your own way. I read reversals for a reason. I know people hate it. It's one of like the number one comments. If you don't want to see someone that reads reversals, there's a lot of people that don't read them. But I find that would be like stopping the alphabet at the letter, I don't know, F or something. Why work with a portion of the alphabet? It's showing you what you need to be focusing on, what you need to be working on. So rather than commenting a lot of reversals or why this is reversed, listen to the message. The reversal told me what to focus on. You're focusing on the reversal. There's a message to be had. I have to get that out because I'm sure other readers, it drives you nuts. I'm giving you what you need to hear. It doesn't matter if the A is upright or reversed. It's just showing a message. All right, perspective. All right, let's take a look now at the elemental forecast where we go into fire, earth, air, and water and see what Spirit has to say. All right, fire, earth, air, water. We got some cool stuff coming through. All right, we're going to start off with Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. For the fire signs, we have King of Pentacles. The reverse position is showing that for some of you, it's a week of personal development. You can take all of the coins, all of that energy, and say, my turn. And that's one of the cool things with the reversal of this card. What you want to avoid this week are people that take more than they give. Because if we look at an external character in your life, the King of Pentacles can be very selfish. There's no other word to put. Selfish, narcissistic, or just they take more than they give without thinking. They might lack that sort of extra skill to just know when it's time to give back. Okay? So model behavior and correct behavior that doesn't make sense and simply say no if you need to. Avoid overspending, avoid overindulging. King of Pentacles likes to treat himself, so try not to overdo it. You may not be understanding like the big picture when it comes to, this is saying like a different view on opportunity. So it's not just the money. Sometimes you can earn less but have like a richer life, right? Because you have more time to experience things. Sometimes you accomplish a goal and it's anticlimactic because you realize maybe you didn't like the task, you don't like the people or whatever. So this is saying, kind of like a Six of Wands in reverse, recalibrate what is valuable, what matters, and allow that to be enough for you, even if it doesn't make sense for your friends, for your family or whatever. You know your own value, you know your own worth and goals. Stay on top of your money and your schedule and your budget. I talked about that in the daily. It's not fun to budget. I don't like it either. But sometimes we have to do that. And this person can manage it, but right now their head is in a different place. Some of you are just distracted this week. Let's not forget this is the best card, maybe next to the Wheel of Fortune, for manifesting and creating and pulling in like money, literally. So let's not forget your power and your worth this week, okay? You're able to do it, but something might be distracting you. So stay focused. Focus on also creating a new definition for what is value or what is valuable, and allow that to be your compass for making good decisions. Good energy for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, but a little bit of work to do when it comes to focusing. Okay, back to the bow and arrow that I saw earlier. Moving on from fire to earth, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Pretty good week for you. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Projects, opportunities, things of that nature might be actually culminating or coming to a close. It can be ends and beginnings. In the rings of the tree, we can see friends, family, loved ones there. This is a card of seeing the value in a relationship or opportunity, and sometimes there's a contract involved. It can be a signing on the dotted line for a job or a marriage. It can also just simply be building something that can last. All the rings in that tree represent years of your life. So we're looking at something for the long haul. And as we're planning Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you're getting very practical and tactical and saying, I really see myself here. And all of these things are lining me up towards that. It's a great week to plan, and it's a great week to connect with others. Networking energy, very, very responsive when you pull a card like this. So whether it's finding new friends, meeting new colleagues, or getting serious in a relationship, this is a great 10 of Pentacles. Okay, good week ahead. Let's move on to the air signs. Pretty intense week for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, but I like the Death card. I think most readers probably do too. Hot take, it's a great card. Something's finishing up. Something great could be opening. I like the way they illustrated this because we have like a little butterfly in the corner. We have all these peace lilies around her, and she's at peace with the transition, with the change, with the new and the old. And you have to change it up. Something that worked before doesn't work anymore, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And this is the realization, and this is the acceptance that that is done. That chapter can close. It's scary, but it's also liberating. And it's also the right time. So doors are closing, doors are opening. It's a big week for both. The only thing that can hold you back if you're an air sign is reluctant energy when it comes to letting go or taking a leap of faith. If you're dealing with loss, I talked a little bit about going through that one step at a time. Obviously, lean on the support of others. We did have a 4 of Wands coming through this week, so that's a great day for you to reach out if you're the shy one, or if someone in your life has gone through something and you're afraid, don't be afraid. One thing to do, like here's a tip on grief. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, because it isn't your fault and they've heard it 1,000 times, you can say, I love you, I miss you, how can I help you? How can I be there for you? What do you need? That's going to be a lot more supportive. They know you're sorry. It's more important that you're there. What can I do? How can I help? Or I just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you. I know I can't make it better, but I can be there with you. I can hold your hand. That is a great way to kind of help someone that's grieving, because sorry doesn't, when you're going through it, you're like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I need some help. I need some love. I need some support. So just be there. You can just sit there in silence with someone. It's useful. It's valid. It's helpful. And you can do that for yourself. Now we're looking at a figurative death. When you're shifting and moving through something, just be there for yourself. Be there with it. And just think, you know what? I just need to kind of like breathe for a second and let it go, whatever it is, whatever it was that you were attached to, because something better is coming. The only thing constant in life is change. And death is just that. It's just a change card. Time to change it up, time to try something new. And I understand that it's not always fun and always easy, but it's clear in the card that it's time. So you're getting a wake-up call to either end or start, or a little bit of both when it comes to major themes and things in your life. Okay, let's go to the water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, we have the Page of Swords in the reverse position. A couple of things. Literally, as I looked at this, what came through were the words I can rather than I can't. So affirmative statements, not just negative, because this can be a negative card. And then rather than I wish, I will. So I see this beautiful dandelion seed pod, and it's all about making a wish. I wish this could happen. So you're going to go into the affirmative. This is going to happen. This is what I'm going to do to manifest it. Get into a very firm and clear stance. And then say, universe, show me what else I need to be focusing on to make it happen. I'll do this part, you show me the next part. If there's something that you want to revise, great. If you have any sort of feedback, make sure that it's followed up with a suggestion. Otherwise, because just saying you don't like something isn't enough. You could say, I don't like this, but what if we tried this? Or I understand why you're trying this, but this isn't working. Have you thought about this? There's different ways to go about it. But there needs to be a constructive element to critical words and thoughts. That includes about yourself. I don't like this about myself. Well, okay, but I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm gonna lean into this, and we need to see positive and negative, and we need to have something tangible to do, not just a statement of dislike or disdain. But don't wish. It's very Yoda. That's kind of what the guides are coming through. Stop wishing, start doing. And don't be critical, and don't go into that Nine of Swords energy and think coulda, woulda, shoulda. And the Page of Swords speaks it into or out of existence because it is communication and action. If you don't want it, say I don't want it. But don't say you can't do it if you want to do it, because you're counterproductive in that particular sense. You have more power than you think. So don't wish, comma, do, period. All right. Now we're going to move on to the special topic for today, if I can find the graphic. Special topic is really good. End cycles that no longer serve you. Amen to that. I'm ready for that too. So thank you for choosing an excellent topic. Before we get into it, like and subscribe if you enjoy this. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on all of these platforms at my name. I also just joined Substack, although it's a very strange platform. But I'm on there too, and I'll add that graphic in here. If you'd like to show some support, you can do so, with super stickers, super chat, and memberships. You can hit the target icon so that we can extend and maybe choose one of the other topics that didn't get selected. And you can also give back through PayPal if you'd like. Okay, that being said, let me select a deck for us to work with today. I had a couple of options. Actually, I think I know which one I'm going to use. Feels like it's been forever since I used the kids' tarot, and it's a good one. If I can open it. Three of Cups was stuck at the bottom, so we're going to start off with that one. All right, take a moment, please, if you just joined, especially for this portion. Let's tune in just in case you haven't done that. Take a nice deep breath, and on the exhale, I want you to let go of whatever it is that you might be holding on to, whatever it is that might be distracting you. Just release it. I'd also like you to welcome in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters, and let's set the intention today to be constructive, not just critical, to help us see where the cycles are that no longer serve or help us, and move instead into areas of abundance. Yeah, for those of you on Substack, it's fine if you have a big audience or you follow people, but nobody can find you if you're there. It's like a tree in the woods that falls and nobody sees it. And it just is a weird setup. I think I'm going to stop talking, but it's a different kind of beast. All right. Let's get into the catalyst. We actually got two catalysts. So we have the flamingo and the sloth. We'll start off with the flamingo first. I was trying to put up both words together. All right, let's take off the graphic. So the flamingo, grace, balance, and vibrancy. Okay, so we're looking at stopping cycles that no longer serve you. This is how you can move through them with grace and just say, I think some of it is the delivery of saying no or saying what it is that you want. This can involve quitting a job, getting a divorce, pushing back on things that don't feel right. It's often hard to articulate things, but you can do it with ease and with grace if you try. Creating better balance in your life. Typically, the flamingo stands on one foot, right? So it knows how to make it work. It's kind of sometimes in that Two of Pentacles or even Hanged Man energy because of the positioning of the Hanged Man's feet. So not kind of like getting too emotional, finding your grounding even when things aren't perfectly balanced. And the vibrancy, this is especially true for those of you, or whenever I was pulling like the Ace of Wands in the reverse position, for whoever that was where I just talked about it, when the vitality is lacking, it's really important for you to get excited about something that makes you light up. When I think of vibrant, I think of the bright colors, but I also think of like the intensity of the light. So if there's something in your life that lights up your neurons and makes your brain sort of like excited, maybe try to focus more on that. And it's A-okay if it's extracurricular or enrichment based. Reading, painting, learning a new language, hiking, doing anything, a book club, I don't care what it is. Something, it's better if it has nothing to do with the practical part of your life, because that's giving you something that makes you happy, that feeds the soul. It will help level up the rest of your energy, and you'll be brighter because of it. I think this is the challenge for us, the sloth. So we like the relaxation piece, but we don't want to get into complete indifference or like such a slow speed that things aren't happening. The composure piece I like. I think the challenge with the sloth, and we will just take it at its larger energy of moving very slowly. There's a time and a place for that, but if there is something that you want to do, action is necessary. So yes, have your hanged man moment, but eventually you have to get off the tree and start moving towards it. So procrastination. With procrastination, oftentimes we need an accountability partner, a friend, a coach, someone who can kind of map it out, the progress. And mapping it out is good too. Progress reports for yourself, like, God, look at how far I've come. It's worth it. So whether you're saving money or getting healthier or whatever it is that you're doing, marking the progress so that you stay motivated could be very, very effective and very, very helpful. Okay? Let me take a drink and then we're going to go into these center two cards. Okay. So this one just found its way to us. I love that we have kind of like childlike energy, although they're a little crazy, aren't they? They're really pushing those cups together. But anyway, I think that fun is the key. It's the glue at the center of this spread. So like a carrot on a stick. If I'm cleaning the house, I'll listen to music. That's a great example of putting a carrot, like, okay, well, that's fun. I can listen to that. Or I can do a book on, Audible or something like that, or a podcast, so that I'm feeling connected to something that I care about while I'm scrubbing the kitchen. Because I don't care about that. I like that it's clean, but it's not as fun. So I can reward myself by making some time to read or to listen to something or talk to someone on the phone. Multitasking can be your friend here. Or like I said, give yourself an actual goal and reward. Say, I'm going to work for 3 or 4 hours and then I'm going to go have coffee with a friend. Okay? So motivate yourself, kind of trick your brain a little bit into that, but it's also fun. Make time for fun in every day, because otherwise it's a little overwhelming. Some of you are calling in partners. 3 of Cups is saying, like my friend, I'm ready for love in my life. I'm going to start to do things that make it easier for love to show up. So that can be making your house cozier, keeping some room in your closet, getting out into social activities, working on your own health and your own confidence and your own well-being so that you can be the partner that someone else would want to find, like we talked about, okay? So it's a combination of these two things. Crossing this card, we had the Six of Wands. So I love this. This is success. I also love that sometimes missing from this equation is that wands are magic. Think of what a magician uses, the wand. So you can magically create your own success. For those of you that are feeling like you're a failure, stop it. Stop thinking. That's one of the first cycles. It doesn't serve you. Think to yourself, if you can't get to like, I'm successful, say, I am on the road to success. I'm turning a new leaf. I'm turning a new corner. I believe in myself. Be the coach that would help you be successful. I need to work on this. This is what I'm going to do. So you can coach yourself. You can pep squad yourself. Like you can be your own sort of, cheerleader. But don't pop your own balloon. There's plenty of people out there that can do that. You may need tools to get there. That's where coaches, therapists can come in. I'm just doing my best to illustrate what you can try to focus on. And then, if you can combine these two cards, you will live the richest life. We're not looking at money, we're looking at like richness of experience. Fun, joy, great camaraderie, and success, like work. So the best jobs and best experiences are the ones that have great people involved with them because it doesn't feel like work. So to be successful, you have to have some fun. If you can mix the two together, you'll be unstoppable. Try not to separate them out. It's not either or, it's both. Two of Cups. I definitely feel like some of you are either wanting to go deeper into a relationship or find a new friend or you're ready for love. Good. I'm getting it in the cards. Two of Cups in reverse, looking at the deep past. There is this feeling that it's been hard to find someone that was ready to commit equally, or that you just feel exhausted because of the last relationship. This is a good card, but when it's reversed, it shows also some regret or attachment to someone who has come and gone in your life. So you could try to repair that. You could make peace with that and just realize both of you showed up exactly as you could at that point in time, for better or for worse. We can't live in the coulda, woulda, shoulda. And who knows what great love or great friendship or great opportunity the universe might have in store for you. If you think to yourself that was as good as it gets, then you're manifesting that. You could open yourself up to receive something greater than or equal to that. You might be able to find someone that moves your life in an equally satisfying but very different way. Because we're not looking for clones. We're looking for something substantial. So we're not rinsing and repeating. Yes, this might have been a love of your life, but who knows if it was the love of your life? Because your life isn't over yet. And you don't know the full plan because you're still writing it. So let's not be absolute in things like that. It's hard, especially if you met someone that you really feel like it was the love of your life and they were amazing and it was a soulmate. We can have multiple soulmates and we can have multiple amazing experiences in this lifetime. So open yourself up to be radically and amazingly surprised by the capacity for the universe to surpass your expectations. Just entertain the thought, because then it can show up rather than closing a door that hasn't even opened yet. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse position. So, second time we've gotten the Eight of Pentacles. Question in this card is, why are you doing it? Why are you working so hard? Why are you going to school? Why does this lesson, if it's not either of those, repeat? Is it because you're doing it to please others? So, admittedly, when I look back at, even the fact that I went to school, it's just because it was expected, which was cool. Nobody on either side of my family was able to go. So they wanted me to. And so I wanted to do that for them. And I really liked it. I wanted to go. But a big part of it was always expected. So I never entertained another possibility. If I was unhappy at some point during that phase, I've always been fiercely independent. I probably would have just said, this isn't for me. But a big part of it was expectation. So if you're doing something solely for expectation, pause and say, okay, great, but how can I lean into this and make it something that I want also? And then another piece of this, because these keep coming through reversed, is, but this is how I thought it would be. I thought that by age such and such, I would have this. I thought that because I did this, I would receive this, but it didn't happen. And then we get angry, and then we get resentful, and then things the house of cards falls. So all we can do is our best. And you never know. When I look back, so I was randomly watching a couple of old videos. I'm like, I've talked about some of these stories too much. But this is one that's good. One of my least favorable jobs, I was only in it for 8 months. I actually would go so far as to say I hated it. I took it only because it was there and I needed it. Sometimes we do that. The minute I stepped in the door, I knew that this was a mistake. But anyway, I did it. And I thought, what a waste of time and energy. Lo and behold, no more than about 3 or 4 years later, I was hired explicitly because I'd worked at that place and that they were dealing with someone from that place and they needed help. And they knew that I understood the methodologies, and I was like, holy guacamole. That was not a mistake. It is an asset. Something that I thought was a complete twist and turn and a waste of 8 months of my life gave me an experience that extended my working career by several years, made me an asset to a new place. And I was like, oh, it wasn't a mistake. It was awful to go through, but it helped me down the line. So sometimes the worst breakup, the worst job, the dumbest mistake you think at that time actually gives you a life experience, skill set, or connection that will open and unlock a door that wouldn't have been unlocked otherwise. So you never know. You never know why you're learning this certain lesson. It's just a matter of saying, I'm done with this now. Because there did come a point at that one place where I was like, I'm so done. I need to get out. But then later that was very valuable. So there are no failures. There are just experiences. If you can leverage them, they can be successes down the line, okay? So sometimes we have to go through a breakup, a shakeup, a bad experience so that we have the skills to manage a future opportunity, okay? So and someone's talking in the chat about faith. I would say, yeah, it's faith in a larger pattern to the world and to your life and your ability to leverage an experience for sure. Some of you might want to go back to school. Some of you might want to learn something new. That's fine. Go for it. We're never too young. We're never too old. That's the reversal of that, okay? So now let's take a look at the crowning card. Just this week, I was reading for a friend who's going through some stuff. What they're going through is none of our business, but we were looking at money, and I was like, this is the card that I want to get, and I got it for you. So the fact that I got it for you is very timely. Six of Pentacles shows more than enough. It isn't like money falling from trees or growing on trees, but what it is balance. And if you make smart decisions and don't overextend yourself, you're good. So one thing that you could do right now is to really lean into the knowledge that you will be okay, provided that you don't overspend, overextend, or overthink. Just balance. It may take a little more time to do some of the things that you care about. You may not get everything that you want right here, right now, but you can probably get most of what you want if you're patient and if you're diligent. Smart choices bring balance, and it's given its take. This is a cool card because it's never going to really be reversed. If you need some help, ask. If you have some additional support to lend it. Give and take. Okay? So just make sure the reciprocity is there and be logical and practical when it comes to how much you're putting forth. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you enjoy some of the stories. I'm doing my best to pick into the well of older things or things that we haven't talked about. Because I was looking at something from like 3 or 4 years ago. If I'm like, that story's retired. Because my dad was a storyteller. So I get my ability to kind of like weave from life experiences from my father, who's in spirit. But sometimes I'm like, Dad, I've heard that story. So I'll try not to be that version of my dad. All right. In the near future here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is in reverse. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I actually love this illustration. I forgot how much I like this deck, so I was dusting off some that we haven't used for a while. Don't lose sight of what matters. I love that he's putting it right over his glasses. Really focus on what it's all about. Why do you care so much? Why are you working so hard? Is it for your family? Is it for yourself? Is it for your health? Is it because it just lights you up? Perfect. Get back into the motivation of like, this is the end goal. And by the way, I don't regret getting all that schooling because it helped me a lot. There were 3 doors that were opened because of like a choice in school, which was crazy. And I was like, okay, I guess I did the right thing. I guess it was worth it because it got me employed 3 times. So it was worth it. But when I did my second degree, the grad school one, I went to a school that I wanted to go to, and I really studied the program that I wanted at that time. And I think that's what helps. So lean into things that are developmental because you want them. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is reviewing, revising, and clearing like the focus on that one thing. It's like, okay, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, this does. I'm putting my energy there. Knights in reverse, back up, get a bird's eye view, and pivot as needed. So get really, really practical and make sure that we're going to get really intense with this guy, that it makes sense for you. Keep your eye on what matters and don't let anybody take or steal your focus from that. Okay, we have Queen of Cups energy coming through representing you. So passion is where it's at. We had 3 of Cups, 2 of Cups, Queen of Cups. You either feel it or you don't. This is true in love. This is true in life. This is especially true in relationships. She's upright. So if the spark is there, go for it. If the spark isn't there, don't waste your time. Creativity, intuition, kindness, and empathy. These are the wonderful energies that the Queen of Cups emanates. And the school of fish that is swimming around her, they're attracted to her energy because of those traits. So your secret sauce this week is your kindness, your empathy, your emotional intelligence, and your intuition. Lean especially into that. And if you're looking for love, this is a great card because it's super magnetic. Okay, we're going to say hi to Apollo as well. Buddy, what are you doing? You're getting too hot in the background here. I'm fairly certain he was a cat in another life because he enjoys sunbathing, even when it makes him way too hot. All right, I might have to pull the blind down a little bit more for my dog. Let's do that. Okay, let's look at what's going on in the environment here. We have the 8, I think, of Wands. Yes. All right, 8 of Wands. So this is a great, actually like a perfect card for those of you that are trying to get something done or work on something important. It basically shows that things will just start to move. It's momentum personified. Don't get lost in the shuffle. That's the reverse of the 8 of Wands. Sometimes we are so kind of like keen on making something happen that I'll pull the traditional card. They're usually just wands flying in the air. There's not much to see, but sometimes we're so lost in the shuffle that we might not eat enough. We might not sleep enough. We might forget to talk to someone or do something. So when it's reversed, there's too much. It's too fast. You just need to pace yourself. But ultimately, those wands are showing rapid movement and productive energy. And so just keep the pace, pace yourself. If you need to take a mental health day, the sloth will help you do that. But don't burn out. That's basically what I see there. And don't second guess how much progress that you're making right now. Okay? All right. So now we have Knight of Cups coming through, another Knight reversed, and it's in Hope, Spheres, and Opportunities. So this is saying, is this enough for me? because we're tuning into heart, wants, needs, desires, and he's sort of sitting there and thinking, is it enough? He might also be thinking, I'm done with that now. I don't need this anymore. Very interesting that we have like a shark. Is that a shark? It's like a, can't tell if it's a shark or a whale or a dolphin. It's kind of like up for grabs there. But anyway, if there's something that you need or want, speak up. I'm looking at all the teeth on that fish. It's important to articulate your needs, your wants, your desires, and maybe even your fears. So I think for some of you, just talking to someone and getting it off your chest, thinking back to the 10 of Wands that came through for some of you, it's important to like let it go. Most importantly, though, is that there is a feeling of satisfaction and joy in your life. And finally, here we go again with the same card, also reverse, 4 of Wands. It's closer than you think. So in this card, we actually see the people coming together. And in the traditional illustration, which I'll pull since we're talking about it, they're not ever in the center. They're always in the background. So there's an understanding that if we want to manifest something cool, like the mantra is the best is yet to come. This is true in life, in love, in relationships, and it's reminding you that you still have room for an unexpected, like rom-com moment where something great happens. This someone coming in and declaring their love or something like that. So open yourself up for that cinematic moment. Here we have in the background 2 people ready to commit. In the foreground, the stage is set, but they're not there yet. More people waiting. So slowly we're getting to the people coming into view here. So the best is yet to come. It's also in what? It's in the future position here. This is near future. This is more distant future. And so don't rush something. By the way, if you are in a new relationship or you are feeling a spark with someone, slower is better. Let them take the lead on some things if you want to, especially if you're the kind that like says too much too quickly. Just wait, just breathe, just give it an extra moment. It's not playing games if that sometimes is a problem for you where you say too much too quickly. Give them a chance to breathe and know that there's a connection as well. You can express gratitude like, oh my God, I had a great time. Let me know when you want to meet up again or something. And then let it go. No more 5 texts after that. No more worrying if they don't. Give it a week or something and then check in. Like breathing space is good, especially if someone's busy. Because ultimately 4 of Wands portends good things. The other person just might be dealing with a lot right now. That's the energy that I'm picking up. Let's expand your forecast. And we're going to take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. I've been going a little bit lighter on how granular I get with that. I think I'm going to do the same because we're going to look at something else at the end. I have faith that we'll get to 30 of 30 on the goal, so you can help me reach it if you want to. But in the meantime, we've got some stuff to look at. All right, we're going to look at health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. And for health, we have, can you hear me? There was a song in the 80s. Was it Mike and the Mechanics? Can you hear me? That was the song, like Clear Running or something. Anyway, my mind is like a jukebox. That would be my autobiography. One of the chapters, my life is a jukebox. All right, so a feeling of being alone, a feeling of people not necessarily, it's like 2 of Swords basically, not understanding who you are or where you're coming from. If you feel that sense of being alone, you're not, but you may need to seek out a trusted confidant. It could be a therapist. It could be a group, like a sort of extracurricular activity where there's like-minded people. So loneliness is not as singular as you think. Like I think it's the biggest epidemic right now for a lot of age groups. And I think it's actually worse. I mean, I grew up at a time when, aging myself, we didn't have cell phones. There were pagers back in the day. But so you had to talk to people. You had to go out and you had to, if you were interested, you had to approach someone and talk to them. And I know that younger generations have more difficulty and social anxiety because of that lack of social skill. So it can be that. It could just be shyness. It could be also a feeling of isolation. You can be in a big group of people and just not feel like you're fitting in. So finding a way to express that loneliness and to find kindred spirits. That's why perhaps we have had so many cards coming through today around friendship. So 3 of Cups, 2 of Cups, 4 of Wands. The thing is, Three of Cups is a very, and we'll look at this more in relationships, but it came through here. Three of Cups is just fun, but like no strings attached. There's not a deep connection sometimes to that. There's a much deeper connection to Four of Wands. So it feels like some of you are looking for something more substantial. And I get it. It's hard sometimes because people are afraid to show that depth, right? Okay, let's go ahead now and just take a quick look at general health and well-being. The balance energy that came through from the flamingo is really important in our lives right now, making sure that you have enough of what you need, not just in like your diet and exercise, but like in all aspects. We're talking about work-life balance. Speaking of diet, that's what actually makes the flamingo pink. They eat a lot of shrimp, I think it is, and the coloring comes from the shrimp intake, which I didn't know, which I think is kind of cool because I covered a lot of these when I used to go much deeper into like animal totems. So diet is important. Pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Other things that we're looking at here. Relationship health is going to affect your general health. So if there's problems in the relationship coaching can help your general, your mental health as well. The balance of everything, your like diet, exercise, work, and fun. It's all about balance this week in particular. And I feel like the biggest thing here is sensitivity and emotion. It's emotion. So mental health and emotional health kind of like take center stage. The great news is we didn't get the Ten of Cups. I'm sorry, we didn't get the Ten of Swords. I wish we had the Ten of Cups. We didn't get the Ten of Swords. We didn't get the Tower. We didn't get the Devil. All the cups do show, though, sometimes either intensity of emotion or sometimes drinking too much. Make sure that you're not drinking too much, whether that's caffeine, alcohol, whatever, everything in moderation. Okay, I think we can move on. It's mostly emotional health this week that you need to focus on. Let's take a look at wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. And we have an interesting card here that came through in the reverse position. Michael's spiritual acceleration. You are experiencing spiritual upgrades. Move forward. This is Archangel Michael that came through. Okay, so again, we're looking at wealth. The moving forward piece is what I'm focusing on here. If this card is reversed and you're feeling stuck, or if you've articulated something and it's stagnating, it's moving at the sloth speed, then it's important to fight. If you do a Google for Archangel Michael, invariably, one of the pictures that will come up is a picture of him slaying like Satan. So he can fight even the strongest or most adversarial force. Anything that's in front of you, challenge-wise, when it comes to your career, you can slay that dragon. That's basically what this card is reminding you. He has the sword in front of him. That's the sort of, it looks like a tattoo, but you're kind of seeing through the sword. What's important first is to slow down long enough to understand what you want to fight for and what you don't need to fight for. Sometimes fighting is walking away. Sometimes fighting is getting a lawyer. Sometimes fighting is just saying this isn't right. But there is something that needs to be balanced out. And Michael is encouraging you to use your throat chakra and speak up for this, okay? But he's one of the fiercest cards you can get. Like if I get Joan of Arc or Michael or anything like that, or Kali or something like that, I'm like, oh, you've got this. You can do this, because those are like formidable divine energies to bring forth. Okay, we're going to break this down without going too deep, just deep enough. For those of you that are currently employed, I just hit on some things. There might be a glass ceiling, some stagnation, things of that nature. Get it in writing. Michael wants you to get it in writing, okay? One of the things that you're doing well is working with other people. 3 of Cups and 2 of Cups and 4 of Wands, teamwork. Now, what you want to avoid this week in particular is gossip. What you want to also avoid, because we're looking at making and breaking cycles, is getting lost in the shuffle. And this is where the flamingo comes in. The flamingo is super tall and is going to make sure that they're not being ignored and that their contributions aren't being usurped or put to the side. So we want to stand up, speak up, and make sure that we're being seen and heard. Ultimately, though, I quite like what I see here. Creativity is your strongest card here because it's upright, and give and take is important here. But I feel like you've got this. This is a good week for those that are employed. Maintain balance, avoid gossip, focus on the one thing that you've committed to doing, do it, and then make sure that you've kind of you bubble that up. Otherwise, things look good here. It's a great week for those that are employed. Just don't get distracted. That's the main thing. Entrepreneurial energy. If you own your own company, we have the Six of Wands here coming through. By the way, I meant to say that for the previous grouping. Like, it's a successful, it's a good week. But with the Six of Wands, if you have your own company, what you want to do is set aside a part of your social media posts and probably your website. People don't look at websites as much, but they do if they're researching you. And put some examples of what you've done well, our story, or testimonials, or ratings and reviews. Bubble up the good stuff so that can be found easily by someone who's new to you. Engage with your customers and with your workers, and celebrate. Like, if people are doing well, share the wealth. That's what this is about. Don't be greedy. Share the wealth. Give someone a spot raise. Give someone a promotion, and that's important. Invest wisely in your company. Don't overextend. Pick one area of growth that you want to see something expanded in the next quarter, and put the energy and focus there. It's your team that's continuing to, and your customers that are creating the current growth in your company, so reward them as best you can. Job seekers. Networking is important this week. Three of Cups, Two of Cups, Four of Wands. So professional networks, friends and family. People who know people are the people that you need to know. So they're going to help you find jobs that aren't listed on the regular job sites, or they might be able to get your resume fast-tracked. Can you find something? Yeah, but there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of energy. So you want the same thing that I was talking about to all of the entrepreneurs, provided that you're not just putting stuff in like cut and paste in a digital, application. When you finally get FaceTime with someone, or if you can send some samples, really make a splash. That's what this guy is doing. Like, he's right behind the ocean and there's water splashing all around him. Somehow show that you're different, show that there's a vibe to you that's, a little bit, it's going to kind of like set you apart. I do feel like you can land on something though. Knight of Pentacles, Four of Wands. You might need to negotiate just a little bit more. And you're not going to get everything that you want, but you can get a lot of what you want. So be smart about the negotiation process. Oops, I almost skipped over students. Students. I like that we have Eight of Pentacles. This is a card for learning. I like the Three of Cups, student life. I like Six of Wands. I think this is the important thing. Don't get distracted by all of what's going on around you. The Knight of Pentacles is also an encouragement to talk to an advisor for, like, if I want this path or if I want to make this impact, what do I need to do that's either different than, or probably different than what's in the traditional program? Because they might tell you, oh, you might need more classes in this elective. You might want to take this language. You might need more legal or communication or creative acumen. So the minor classes actually add up to something very important. I only took, because I had like a Bachelor of Science in my undergrad, maybe 3 or 4 business classes, but they were so important. And if I could go back, I would have taken probably some more. I took like econ, financial class, business 101, economics. But like I had to take a few of them, and I hated them with a passion. But I learned so much. And then when I never really thought I'd be doing like a personal business, but if you own your own business, you have to understand certain concepts of business. So it was important. Who knew? There are no accidents. But I would say things that can help everybody. Classes in psychology, classes in communication, and classes in business. Communication, and particularly maybe even a foreign language. So like add those into the mix because they're going to broaden your reach. You need the emotional capacity to understand why people might not be working with you. And also speech and rhetoric. So that communication stuff can be like public speaking or debate. And you can do that out of school. That can be extracurricular. everybody can benefit from a good debate class because you're going to have to stand up for yourself in life, whether you're at the bank, the grocery store, the boardroom, your relationship. Trust me, that debate skill is going to come in handy, and I wish that I'd gone maybe much further with debate. Okay. Anything else for students? No, I think you're actually pretty good. Just finding the right balance and getting very, very practical and tactical when it comes to that one career goal. Don't wait until you graduate to figure out how it's all going to come together. Retirees, it's about community. Some of you are looking back and thinking woulda, coulda, shoulda. You are far from your last chapter when it comes to love, friendship, and relationships. And the older you get, the more important it is to build new and forge new connections, particularly for those of us that kind of like don't work in an office anymore, myself included. Even if you're working on your own or if you're a remote sort of worker, getting out there, like I recently made a new friend and it was so nice. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do more of this. It took like kind of a year for us to finally connect. And I was like, this is a very nice thing. So the older you get, the more important those relationships are because they help you cope with things and they help you stay young. Looking at the budget, maybe even looking at if you're spending correctly or if you maybe want to do something part-time to take some of the stress off so that you're not worried about things. Money is important. And then just relationship health. Okay, I went deeper than I wanted to, but it's okay. I don't think any of us are here just to rush through this, so I need to remind myself of that. We looked at health and wealth. Now we're going to look at love, which is your friends, family, and loved ones. So let's see what the card is for that. Okay. Remember when we had the 7 of Swords coming through? I think it was around the middle of the week. Be mindful of that. The Mischief card is saying if you think you'll get away with it, you won't. The crows are coming through, the ravens are coming through, and trying to kind of wake you up to that energy. If there is someone that is acting out of character or doing something that isn't right, ask them why it's happening and let them know that you see it. Oftentimes, that's a great like parenting technique, but it works with everybody. And just saying that you're very surprised, this is out of character, what's going on. That gives them a chance to maybe realize, okay, I messed up and I got caught and come clean. And if not, then at least you let them know, like, I'm on to you. All right, let me break this down. We'll start with partner, but let me take a drink first. And I might need a cough drop too. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Okay. If you're in a current partnership, here's what I see. First of all, there might be one too many cooks in the kitchen. Third party could be a relative, a parent, could be someone from the past. So 2 of cups in the past position, 3 of cups in the present in a relationship is a little challenging. Sometimes we have an ex in the picture because there's a child, right? And so you have to navigate that relationship because you're co-parenting. But there's a time and a place, and we need to have really good boundaries. You are going to successfully navigate this, but be mindful of the other party trying to create havoc. If it's a parent or an aunt or a loved one or a sibling that's getting in your business, just say like enough is enough. If it's someone that's tempting you to act up and you know it's going to get you in trouble, don't do that either. Boundaries. You just need to have good boundaries. There may be no way to get that person out of your life because they're family, but they don't need to cause a mess either, okay? Other things that I see in current relationships, just give and take. Seems to be in a good position here for the most part, but financial stress may be a real thing. Talk to your partner about what you want to spend money on, what you want to save on, etc. All of that's important. There's a lot of love to be had here. It feels like for some of you, you want to go deeper into this commitment. So if you are partnered but not married, this could be about, or not exclusive, this might be about making it exclusive, okay? I mean, this can also be polyamory because we are in a new age here, but you have to successfully navigate relationship boundaries and roles. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's move on to single and looking. If you're single and looking, good for you. You can find someone if you want to. We have a very attractive card coming through for you. We have two potential partnerships. This one is actually attached to a commitment card. So it could go too fast, or you might be too serious. So kind of suss out the level of interest in commitment when you're looking at a potential date. This is a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces might be more either ready to commit or a little bit apprehensive. Something around commitment with them could be challenging. When we look at the earth sign, there's a lot of work going on. So they just may have their eye on school, work, or money right now, or they need a lot from you. Both of these relationships look like they need a lot. So I would just slow down for a moment. You can definitely get to know people. You don't have to jump straight into that Four of Wands. This is a time to meet and greet. Maybe you're going to attract someone more in the Queen of Cups energy, more mature, more sensitive, more knowing who they are, not looking for someone to validate that. If you're single and happy, I think that's the easiest right now. We have an ability to put your time, energy, and focus into personal development and success. But interestingly enough, there's a lot of people that want to get on your dance card here with the Three of Cups. So you're going to have a busy social calendar, or you can if you want to. Some of you are focusing more, though, on school, work, and personal development, and that is fine. I see movement there, and I see success coming through. Just make sure that everything is in moderation. Finally, destiny. Okay. We have like some ancestral energy coming through. It says, grandfather's son, sacred fire, gratitude. The card is in reverse. I looked at the grandparent energy, and we could just be grateful for some of the skills, some of the opportunities that our parents, grandparents, and ancestors opened up. So that's one thing. But also just the power of changing the attitude of gratitude. Thinking to yourself, I'm so lucky that I experienced this. I'm so grateful for this. You can even be grateful for the challenges that you've had in your life. And say to yourself, you're like, well, I didn't understand it but I'm grateful now. Kind of like that one personal story that I shared. Okay, so I'm going to pull one single card to make sure that we're clear on this cycle. What's the biggest cycle in your life that you can release? Knight of Swords in reverse. I can't, I won't, I'll never. And I could have, I should have, I would have. It's a very critical way of thinking of things and thinking to yourself, I can't do this because. And then you insert in that blank something that your mom said, something that a teacher said, something that you heard on TV. It's just chatter. That's not helpful. So what you want to do instead is, again, kind of go more into an affirmative. And I like to imagine, okay, so we have a party here, Three of Cups. Imagine you're meeting yourself at the party and someone says, hi, my name is, and who are you? What are you doing? Like, what's going on? And you could either lead with everything that isn't working, or you could lead with something aspirational. You could say, hi, my name is Nicholas. And then you can think about what it is that's challenging in your life right now. And you could say, I'm starting to overcome this. You could say, you know what, I'm turning a new corner. This is an exciting moment in my life. I just went back to school. I'm unhappy in my job, but I'm learning a new skill, and I'm intending to quit and start a business within 6 to 8 months. That's exciting. So like you're talking about goals, dreams, plans, challenges, but you also have like all this other stuff bubbling up. You don't have to not talk about what's challenging, but you're saying what you're doing to work through it. I just got through a bad breakup, and I can't wait to get out there and just meet some new people. Okay, good. I didn't realize how much of this and this that I hadn't experienced, so I'm getting involved with that. So instead of critically looking at yourself and cutting yourself down, the Knight of Swords can cut himself down. You're going to build yourself up. And then the Knight of Swords is one of the fastest moving cards. When you articulate positively something that could be moving in the right direction in your life, then it happens faster than you think. Again, the power of speaking something into or out of existence. Never underestimate words. That little kid saying, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Actually, words can build a mountain or break it down. Words actually have a lot of power. Use them towards yourself in a way that builds yourself up. cyclically, energetically, and psychically, that's the strongest thing you can do this week, is to think and speak highly of yourself, not in an inflated way. I just gave you examples. Just say, I'm really working hard on this aspect of my life. I'm making progress and that feels good. That's not bragging. That's just you stating something that you're trying to work on. So that it's like that kind of level of positivity. And believe in yourself. If you can do it, then like it's the high priestess energy. You have to believe it in order to see it around you. All right, I'm going to clear the table. And we're one live chat or one little thing away from this. We're going to make it. I believe in us, aspirationally. So we're going to go into a bonus topic because I know we'll hit the goal. And I just need to clear everything up here. So for the bonus, I'm going to give you a chance to vote. So there we did. We did it. See? Aspirational work works. All right. Would you like me to cover the least popular choice, which I think was around love and relationships, or the runner-up, or whatever spirit wants? Okay, you guys decide while I'm getting everything ready. And when people complain, I'm like, complain amongst yourselves. You're the one that are choosing the options for me. I'm trying to be the medium and the guide for you. I'll give you a couple of moments to do that while I get everything set up. While I am, great time to subscribe, show some love. You can follow me on social media if you'd like. By the way, I did mention that I'm on Substack, which is a strange place. But if you want to join me there as well, feel free to do that. This is the link to Substack. And I think in the pinned link for all of my social media, I'm going to put this link as well. You can find me here. So here are the different ways to get in touch with me. Okay. You can also show some love through Super Sticker, Super Chat, and memberships, which we've already seen a bunch of, so thank you for that. And now I'm going to get some cards ready here. Okay, so we haven't used Sun and Moon in a minute. Use this in a minute. I haven't used this in a minute. Okay. Okay, whatever spirit wants. Good to know. Yeah, and by the way, I would also encourage you to subscribe for my newsletter. I will be doing some new things this year. I'm trying to get some external ways to connect with all of you there. So Substack, I've created that because I believe TikTok, it's like not going to make it. If it continues, at least American TikTok, it's not in a good place, algorithmically speaking. Did we really get, okay, Queen of Pentacles, all right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired of all the optional sites, too. There's so many right now, but be that as it may. All right, thank you, everybody, for voting and participating. We're going to do whatever spirit wants. 75%. Wow. All right, so we're going to do free channeling right now. Okay. Thank you, by the way. Someone just gave like 10 memberships. I appreciate it. All right. Close your eyes for a moment. I'm going to select a few cards here based on what you need to deal with this week. I'll leave this one to the side because she came through to help us choose the deck. Okay, so looking into things that are causing stress, we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Wheel of Fortune in reverse can represent a change in your life cycle, actually. Like, so a major shift when you get into a new phase, like getting married, getting retired, starting or stopping school. Like it can be that kind of sort of section of your life. It's not just money. And it feels like many of you are kind of going into this existential question. What do I do? Where am I going? What's next? Because you might have checked off a lot of things that were on your to-do list, or the world has changed so radically that what you thought you would be doing, it doesn't make sense anymore. So one thing that I do love about Wheel of Fortune energy is everything comes and goes. So like if you think of the stock market or the economy, there's only so long it can go up before there's a recession, before there's a crash, and the crash doesn't last forever. Then it eventually builds up, cycles. In your life, there are high points, there are low points, and most of it's spent in the middle, going up or going down from those points. So don't let the punctuated highs and lows kind of like psych you out, because the wheel keeps turning, like the Journey song, Wheel in the Sky keeps on turning. So the Wheel of Fortune keeps on turning. You are allowed at any phase or stage in your life to pivot and say, done with this, want to do this instead. You're not stuck in a mold. And we really want to lean into the movement energy of the wheel, not just the money aspect of the wheel, but the physical movement, phases and changes and eras of your life. You're stepping, this is the death card, especially for the air signs. I know that came through. So you've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You got to get both feet into something new. But some of you are ready to change it up and do something different, and now is the time to do it. I pulled a card to help help you out with that. We have the Fox. The Fox on many decks is associated with the 7 of Swords because sometimes he's too smart for his own good. But we have Mischief. Second time this specific message has come through. I don't know where I put the other card, but we need to be careful this week about how we spend our time and who we spend our time with. The agility piece is really good. Whatever challenges are in front of you, you can navigate them. And the cleverness is the one thing that we do like about the Fox. This enters into the ability to kind of like strategically think. And I think the Queen of Pentacles, which was the first card that I pulled to select this deck, is connected with that. She has a green thumb in the traditional illustration. And like there's vines everywhere. Sometimes she's pregnant, little bunny rabbit, sometimes a snake, like signs of power and fertility. So with all of this going for you, all you have to do is really get creative in how you spend your time, energy, and money. The Mischief piece can be like that 3 of Cups at the center, someone or something distracting. So stay focused. Be the culmination of the Fox and the Queen of Pentacles, and then you can spin that Wheel of Fortune in the direction that you want. Okay? That is historically what's coming through. Yeah, foxes are great. I'm not giving them I'm just reading the cards, folks. They're great, and it has all of those different aspects, including the agility and the cleverness piece to it, okay? 9 of Pentacles, right here, right now, this is the message. It's in the reverse position. The 9 of Pentacles is a card of achievement, near completion, but also fierce independence. And the fact that this card was reversed is an invitation to network a little bit, to connect with others, to open yourself up to partnership and friendship and advice. So you don't have to do it alone. That's the other message. So everything spins and turns and moves in the right direction eventually. Statistically speaking, things are going, if something isn't the way you want it, if you stick around long enough, things change. Change is your best friend. But in this situation, one thing that could help you change and move quicker is welcoming in someone else to kind of take off some of that load. We got this card reversed. So we have the Penguin, devotion, stability, and order, perfectly aligned with partnership, because I believe that they build a strong bond. And if you really love who you are and what you're doing and who you're spending your time with, that devotion will take you to the distance. Sociability. Again, even though you can do it on your own, you don't always have to do it on your own. And order, getting organized right now will help out. What I see coming through here in the future state, which is quite good, is the World. And the World is the final card in the Major Arcana. All that you've been through, like I was mentioning, there's no mistakes. There's a rhyme and a reason to it all. What you want to do as you're looking towards goals, dreams, and plans in this week ahead, but possibly in this year ahead, is don't diminish, mute, or limit the thoughts. Go bigger, brighter, and bolder, and know that this is going to bring you to your maximum output. So whenever I'm trying to manifest something or someone, I will say all of this or greater, because what if my dream was only one fraction of what's possible? Thoughts, like I said, thoughts and words are acts of creation. So let's be creatively open on this and just open ourselves up for even more. It might also be time. This is moving up, out, and on. So you might be thinking of, in order to do this, I need to like graduate and do this instead, or I need to move physically or symbolically. But it can also be traveling and moving. And if you are like in your own like company or something like this is globalization. You're going to have to think of how to get out of your current bubble. It's bigger. It's not reductive. It's not small. It's not contracting. It's the supernova afterwards. We have the wolf coming through here. I like the wildness part of that. That is allowing things to go where they will. Leadership energy. Step into the role of leadership if you're ready. Common theme throughout this whole reading is kinship. You didn't choose relationships, but they're choosing you. So Spirit wants me to look at relationships, so I will. So what I'm going to look at is the role of relationships in this week ahead, what we need to be focusing on. Why does the card keep coming through? Or why do these cards keep coming through? All right, I'm going to switch up which deck I'm using. All right, what do we need to know about relationships in general? Okay, some self-confidence energy coming through. Show me karmically, presently, and in the future what's coming through with respect to relationships. Okay, we have like a redemption arc coming through with relationship energy. So the first oracle card that came through is the World, which we just ended on. Literally, if I can pull that card, is blessed to have you. So there we go. The World is blessed to have you. And sometimes we don't realize our own worth or potential because we're hardest on ourselves. So just know that the World keeps coming through, relationship energy keeps coming through. If you're looking for a partnership, it also might be from external places. So different city, country, or province, or perhaps like someone that's not in your current circle of friends and loved ones. What an interesting combination of cards that came through. When I looked at the past energy, the Moon and the Devil definitely play together in the sort of like larger court of tarot cards. The Moon card has to do with fears, anxieties, sometimes people not showing up authentically in the way that you needed, wanted, or expected. If we're going to get the Devil, I'd rather get it in the reverse position. This particular Devil is using like gifts and money to try to like pull someone in. So love, true love, can't be bought, can't be influenced, can't be controlled in that way. You're starting to listen to yourself. I mean, this is kind of a creepy devil, I have to say. And the cats are coming through like clawing at these people saying, don't do it. There was something in your past, perhaps, where you just knew on some level, this isn't it. This is still showing up in the present, so we're releasing this cycle of not listening to ourselves. The money isn't enough. The gifts aren't enough. The gut feeling that you had when it came to old cycles and relationships were valid. We bring in people that teach us, and that's what we're seeing. And also look at this. We have a little kitty cat here and like a panther here. So sometimes when there's a challenging person in your life, they get inflated in your mind, power-wise. And I know in certain parts of my life, when I had a friend or a coworker or someone that I thought was like really just had all this power. I remember having a friend meet them and they said, "That's who you were all worked up about? Like, that's who was getting in your head? Why?" Like, and it really helped to hear that from them. They're like, "You have nothing to worry." Or, I mean, like, this person's trouble, but like, look at the bigger picture. They're hurt. They've got other things going on. And you can get through this. You're giving them too much of your mental real estate. I'm like, thank you for the reality check. You're right. And it helped to get an external perspective. That's why friends, therapists, and other people in our lives that can see a situation can kind of help validate it. I feel like on some of this, there might have also been some of that where maybe there was a warning or whatever, but it's done. Now you're going to listen to that. You're not going to inflate or give power to someone that doesn't deserve it or need it. You're not going to get wooed or wowed by glitz and glamour. You're going to focus on what matters for you the most. So in current relationships, integrity, like if you say you're going to do something, do it, and accountability, honesty, and transparency matter. And when someone tells you who they are, believe them. If they come through and say that they're not good enough for you, that they're a bad person, that they don't know why you like them, ask yourself, why do I like them? Maybe they are a bad person. Thank you for telling me. I don't argue with people anymore. I don't always I don't want to deflate them anymore. I just listen and think, okay, I'm not going to put any more time into that. But in my head, I'm like, thanks for telling me. I probably wouldn't say it because it's cruel, but I'm not going to talk them out of them deflating themselves. Because they've got work to do, and that's not necessarily my job to do it. That doesn't mean they're stuck there. That doesn't mean I even believe it, but the fact that they believe it alarms me enough to say, okay, I'm not going to put all of my energy in that basket, okay? This is a great time to meet new people and realize that not everybody is going to come back and repeat cycles from the past. So we have a Knight of Cups in the upright position, and it's a good card. I feel like whatever lessons you've been through, breakups, divorces, people trampling your heart, making you feel terrible. Like, it was a moment in time. It does not have to rinse and repeat. And we're going to pull an oracle card to see how you can be wise about the next step. You have changed. Amethyst, metamorphosis, you are in the vortex of deep transformation. Surrender to the process that's unfolding. The person that went through that is no longer you. I wouldn't, and just don't want to step back into any of the previous incarnations of myself. It would be nice to sometimes, when you look at a picture of yourself from 10 or 15 years ago, you're like, I'd like to step into that body, but not what that body went through at that time, because I'm not that person. I wouldn't even last a day in some of these old stories that I talked about. I would quit job. It wouldn't last. And it would be a different experience because I'm grateful for those experiences, but they wouldn't repeat because I'm not that person. That person has left the chat. We have someone different here, and that's true for all of you. And look at what she's pointing to, throat chakra. By the way, you can wear an amethyst stone there if you want to help protect the throat. You can wear onyx too. Wearing anything here when you're talking can help absorb the energy. Like if other people are talking to you or looking at you, can protect your throat. Jewelry in general, if you wear gemstones, they're valuable for that because they help distract and absorb energy from people that are looking at you. So that's why sometimes spiritual people will have a big old onyx right there because there's a lot of energy coming at you. Some of the reason that it's good to wear the color black, actually, because it absorbs. So anyway, you're a different person right now. Use your voice. Know that you are different and know that you can read the signs. You can read. You don't need tea leaves. You don't need tarot cards. You can look at something and think that's nonsense. And you can hear something and think, oh, I've fallen for that before. I'm not going to fall for that again. So you're older, you're wiser, you're smarter, you're different. Don't put fear into the thought, what if this happens again? It won't. That's it. Just say it and believe it. That's not going to happen again. I've learned my lesson. I'm grateful for the lesson. I don't need to repeat the lesson. Okay? Okay, I think the most important relationship is the one that we have with ourselves. So, in the relationship of self, what do you need to know? Okay? And how can you work through that? Okay. So, what Spirit actually put into my head was you are the love of your life. You. You have to love yourself a lot. And you can't find the love and the completeness or completion in someone else. You have to love yourself wholly, fully, and unabashedly, not in a narcissistic way, but in a I care about myself. I'm grateful to this mind, body, and spirit that has brought me X amount of years through this path in life, which hasn't always been easy. And I so love that I'm still here, and I want to do what I can to love and cherish the person that I've become. Maybe I haven't always been proud of who I am, but I love the person that I am. That's what the three cards in front of me say. This is looking for love in others. This is looking for love externally. This is finding the love within. And also creating space so that you can share the love. I don't want to just love myself. I'm ready for more love. And I'm not going to force it. And all these bruises, all these sort of moments in time have made me stronger so that I'll be okay no matter what. This is kind of like the manifestation story that's in front of me here. You're the love of your life, but you're going to share that love with someone else. You're going to love and forgive what has come to pass, including other people. And your story is not done here. But one thing that we need to learn with the Nine of Wands in reverse is not to force, push, or again, I think one of the areas that can be improved upon is impatience at its lightest. I just want it now. Resentment or entitlement at the most intense, or pushing something at the most sort of like self-defeating. So breathe and be present and trust in the flow. King of Cups, if any card can do it, can trust in the flow. And we've gotten so much water coming through. Lots of dolphins, lots of fish, lots of Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces equally, but a lot of fish. So trust in the flow and know that you're exactly where you need to be right now, whether you are divorced, single and happy, single and looking, partnered, or just ambivalent to the whole thing altogether. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Focus more on the relationship with self. It will heal every other relationship around you. Okay, and now getting out of the energy of relationships, what's the new cycle that you could build or create? Let's go to the black and white deck here. Okay. Making, breaking. Well, let's look at what you can make. Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles was in the reverse position. This is a very interesting one because it's tug of war. I haven't thought of that since I was a kid in school. And in order for tug of war to work, teamwork. Everybody has to pull to the best of their capacity. So when you're looking at relationships, when you're looking at work, extracurricular energy and opportunities, is everyone pulling the same weight or are you doing it all? The reversal of this is saying either the motivation for everyone, like, hey, I'm doing a lot. You got to pick up some of the slack, or you just ask for help. It feels like that's one thing here, is to be able to delegate a little bit more. Now, if we take it into the more symbolic Three of Pentacles, and I think I still have that card here. I don't. It's okay. More symbolic Three of Pentacles. This is about realizing when enough is enough. Because typically it's a card. Here it is. I feel like you're so close to the finish line. There may be an unrealistic expectation of what perfection, what finality is. Being finished with something isn't something perfect sometimes. I'll use an example. Musicians are getting too perfect with auto-tune and like all the embellishments. If you go back and listen to some old recordings, it could be the slight crack in the throat, a slight squeak of the acoustic guitar, or a drum beat that's one step ahead or behind, but it tells the brain this is real, this is happening. And it's the imperfections that make things real, gritty, approachable. So if you're creating art, if you're doing anything, do the best you can do and know that even the imperfections are part of the plan. They make it more relatable. Particularly in music, I don't like it when it sounds like someone's singing through a machine, unless it's specifically for effect, like Charlie XCX, that's her thing. But like when I listen to other singers, I want to hear their voices. I want to hear what's going on here and here, because the two are related. And something that's gravelly, or like back in the day, Kate Bush, Tori Amos, they're very good with that, like whispery or airy sort of stuff. And it's not perfect, but it's really interesting. So sometimes having that level of vulnerability or different energy doesn't have to be perfect. So allow yourself to be perfectly imperfect, okay? That brings this reading to a close. We have a couple of other things that we're going to do, though. I sort of prematurely said that because we'll meditate, and I'll pull one final card. So during the meditation, we're going to focus on loving ourselves and centering our energy. Take a moment, please. Put your feet on the ground or sit cross-legged. Somehow kind of ground your energy. Put your hands on your heart, however it feels comfortable. And think one positive thought about yourself. I can't really write that script for you. I can give you some examples. It could just be the matter of perseverance. You didn't give up. It could be your kindness and empathy to others. It could be your ability to make people laugh. It could be something that you've done where you feel like you've made a change for the better. You decide what that is. I'm going to be quiet. Send that sense of gratitude from your heart and imagine that you could beam it up to your higher self and to the universe, and just put that sense of gratitude out there. I'm grateful. Now let's expand. Think of a person in your life that you're grateful to or for, and add that to the equation. Think of an experience in your life that has brought you something, and expand it another level. And now think to yourself, I am grateful for all of this, and even the things that I can't remember. I'm so grateful to be here right here and right now. And imagine that you could start to open up the heart chakra. For all of the experiences in the past that have made you feel unsafe, uncertain, or less than, allow those to dissolve into the light of gratitude, and allow yourself now to feel safe, ready, and prepared for something better to come along. And imagine that you can literally see the wheel of fortune in front of you moving into a better direction. You can see something favorable in that wheel. Love, experience, wealth, growth, healing. And let's just let the wheel sit there for a second, see your energy aligned with that, and stay focused on that. Know that you are deserving, ready, and capable of pulling that into your life. Take a couple of deep breaths, and when you're ready, think of one final question that you have. And let's see what's coming through. All right, it's already underway. The Ace of Pentacles is a yes, if you asked yes or no. The Ace of Pentacles is also like putting it out there, like transactional energy. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to ask for something. Don't be afraid to push send. We're looking at a sunflower on this card as well. So it takes a little time for the seed, because this can also be a seed, for the seed to grow. But on this first day of February, and any day this week of this first week, the seeds that you plant are strongly received, And you can start to see massive growth over the next 2 or 3 months, because it would take a sunflower about that amount of time to get growing. So give yourself at least 2 or 3 months to see the fruits of your labor. Be patient with yourself and be patient with others. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today, for always being one of the best parts of what I do here on YouTube. To that end, I'd like to take a couple of moments here to call out everybody who gave back, because I wouldn't be here without your love and support. And because it's the beginning of a new month, I believe I have the capacity to gift some memberships right now. So for those who actually stuck around, here are 5 memberships for you. And I'm going to say thanks to everybody for showing up. I wouldn't be here without the support. And now for those who gave back, let me just get to that fan funding page. Here we go. I'm going to do my best to push through this list. Okay. Before we even got started, it looked like we had a brand new channel member join. Maria M., thank you so much for joining. Sinister Days, thank you for being a member and giving a sticker. Michael, thanks so much for your sticker. Piscean, I can't read the rest of it because it got cut off, but to the Piscean person there, number 2 contributor, thank you so much for your kind comments and for being a member and for the sticker. Let's see. Alice, thank you so much for your sticker. Same thing to Tahel Soto, I think it is. Cute little unicorn, I appreciate it. Marianne, sorry, it all gets pushed together. Marianne, thank you so much, Taksamika, for your contribution and for being a member. Let's see. Shelly, thank you very much for 26 months of membership. That's amazing. Thank you. Here we go indeed. Thank you so much to QZ422 for your membership and for your sticker. Jean, thank you so much for your sticker and membership. Jamie M., thank you very much for being a member and for your sticker, and happy February to you as well. Teresa, thank you for the sticker. Jeannie, again, thank you so much for multiple stickers. Melanie, thanks for your sticker. We have a membership anniversary here. Jill Sheets, 41 months. That's amazing. Thank you for the wishes on this snow moon. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ann Walk. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for the membership and for being a member. B. Deidre, good to see you again. Thanks for the membership and sticker as well. K and X, thank you so much for being a member, number 1 contributor today as well, and for the sticker. Yolanda, thank you for the sticker. Let's see, is it Nikki? Yeah, Nikki, thank you for the sticker. Danny Rowe, welcome back, I should say. Good to have you back here. Kieran or Karen, thank you so much for the sticker and membership. Sonnet, I think it is. Thank you so much for your sticker. Stacy H., thank you very much for sticker and membership. Much appreciated. Shelly Williams, thank you for being a member and for your sticker. And then we have Amitabha, who's a member and gifted a membership. So much love for that. Thank you very much. K&X, thank you again. I appreciate the multiple stickers from K&X and also from Ann Walk. Handangul, thank you so much for your sticker and membership. Amitabha, thank you so much for your sticker and membership. Sam Murphy, thanks so much for the sticker and membership. Alice, thanks for the sticker. Lenny, thank you for the sticker and membership. QZ422, second time coming through because I remember all of those letters and numbers. Thank you so much for the sticker and membership. Marianne, again, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the multiple stickers. MP Lessman, thank you very much for the virtual cup of coffee there. Colleen, thank you so much for the sticker and membership. Thanks for the sunshine and warmth as well. Okay, Jeannie W., thank you very much for sticker and membership. Kathy, 3933, thank you very much for your sticker, membership, and continued support. Candex, thanks again. Sam Murphy, thank you for the sticker and membership. QZ422, thank you again. Stacy H., thank you again. Shelly 1108, thank you so much for being a member and for your sticker. And Walk, thank you again. Kieran 101, thank you again. Appreciate it. Thank you for helping me hit the target. Much appreciated. NetChick 41, thank you for the sticker and membership. Adventure with Me SB, thank you for the sticker and membership. NetChick, thank you again. Sam Murphy, thank you again. I love all the people that have come through multiple times. I'll just keep saying it because you guys, I wouldn't be able to do it without you, so thank you so much. KNX420, thank you again, and thanks for being number one here today in the chat. Georgia 2733, thank you very much for the sticker and for being a member for quite a while. Corey 7575, thank you for being a brand new member and also for your sticker today. Josephine Murphy, thank you for sticker and membership. B. Deidre Brown, thank you for the sticker and membership and for being amazing. It caught my attention there. 10 memberships. That's really gracious of you. I appreciate it. Mel 305 Miami, thank you for the vibe sticker. And then welcome to everybody that just joined with my memberships as well. And that, my friends, is everything. I'll be working this week to get all the monthly videos out. Thanks for your patience. Probably trying to do 2 a day, so fingers crossed I'll get those done. Later today, I'll do a brief full moon reading as well. And let's give Apollo a pat on the head and wrap up for today. Hey, buddy. Good boy. Yes. Excuse me. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic week and month ahead. We made it through what felt like the longest month of any year in recent history. So stay strong, everyone. I'll see you soon. And until then, be well.